Shalom Lakam, which is peace unto you all. Hayawam Tuab La Atam, which is a good day unto you all. Wa Kahalayim La Abanawa Yahawah Bahasham Yahushua Bahasham Racha HaKodash. Wa Mashana Kabadim Lazaquanium Nawa Shaw Racha Gadol, which is all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Yahweh, which means he exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahushua he delivers. And double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All right, so this is Staholim, Psalms chapter 64. And we start at verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy." It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Let me get another precept. This is Staholim, Psalms 2. In verse 1, it says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision." You see, because ultimately, the elect is going to be protected, from, the fear of the enemy, from the different wiles of the devil that's mentioned in Ephesians, the 6th chapter. All right. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." So essentially, pretty much King David's asking for protection, which ultimately in the spirit, the elect is going to be in that same spirit of asking for protection from, this devil, to where ultimately we're protected from that, from this devil's wiles, so that we're not taken into different calamities that Esau is going to come with, that great wrath mentioned in Revelation 12 and 12, which, some brothers, will be martyrs, but ultimately, Esau isn't going to have any power over, the salvation of the elect, because the scriptures say that the gates of hell will not prevail, roughly paraphrasing. Verse 3, it says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." It was a book that I was reading. Let me get it real fast. It's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And there's a quote right here. It said, or it's a excerpt inside this book. It says, "Descriptive and introduction of the silent weapon." It says, "Everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets, propelled by data processing instead of a chemical reaction explosion, originating from bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder, from a computer instead of a gun operated by a computer programmer." You see, so how we can see, whereas, in the ancient world, Esau still used, treacherous and slick ways, you see, and also overt ways, you see, but he operates very covertly now. We see it in the form of social media. We see it in the form of instant gratification. We see it in the form of, stuff that you can obtain on the internet, things you can obtain on the internet that lowers, the vibration of the Israelite man, and then destroys households, and things of that nature, you see, but ultimately just shooting situations at the nation, because the scriptures say that the birds round about her are against her, come here to devour, you see. So that's been Esau's MO, with the rest of, the nations, but chiefly Esau, Edom, because he's upset about that birthright, which he's not going to obtain. All right, verse 4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not, you see. So they do all of this stuff, you see, and they don't fear. I'm going to get a quick one real fast, in which we see this in eugenics, the bread and circus, McDonald's, the different foods and stuff that Esau pushes out into the atmosphere. All right, this is, let me go back. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. This is Staholim, Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16 or 21. It says, "These things hast thou done, and I kept silence." I'm starting verse 20. It says, verse 19, "Thou givest thy mouth to deceit, to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit." It says, "Thou sittest and speaketh against." I'll start verse 16. It says, "But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to declare my statutes, and that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" Hey, because, for example, like with America, this place was supposed to be a so-called God-fearing country, Esau took the scriptures unto himself. All right, even the so-called Israelis, you know, they took the scriptures unto themselves. All right, in a certain particular fashion. So it says, saying, thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou considerest with him, and hast been partaken with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, thy tongue frameth deceit. All right, his tongue frames deceit. You see, because the scriptures go into how they constantly blaspheme the Lord. You know, all of his laws and his legislations is pretty much against the Lord. Verse 20 says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. You know, because that goes into how he shoots the secret weapons. All right, pretty much saying, like, because Esau put, you know, different weapons and different things. Ultimately, understanding the nature of Jake, you know, Jake is going to fall for the different traps, you see. But the scriptures say that if you set a trap, you know, you're going to fall in it therewith, roughly paraphrasing. So it says, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done and kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them order before thine eyes. All right, pretty much going back to that Psalm 64, Thaholim, because it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. All right, because essentially they feel as if the Lord, you know, the Lord isn't watching. You know, they feel as if, you know, the Lord is just allowing it to happen, you know. But we're serving out a punishment. They feel as if they're not going to be held accountable. All right, I'm going to get a quick one real fast. This is Kohelet Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, the thing that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. They feel as if the Lord isn't going to hold them accountable, and they're not going to have to essentially come before, you know, they feel like they're not going to have to serve any judgment, you know. So it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They feel like the Lord don't see him, you know. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And because they made that movie, they cloned Tyrone, and pretty much they was taking data, you know. And then also, you know, Esau has his other different methods of how he takes data, you know, through trial and error. So he'd take, all right, this didn't work, so let's do this. Okay, well, they not, all right, listening on conversations, tapping, you know, phones and stuff like that. All right, or this is how he feeling, you know, so let's do this, you know, or this is how all of Jake is feeling, so let's go ahead and do that. That's how Esau thinks, you know. It says that they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, you know, through different surveillance. But then it says, and the heart is deep. You see, pretty much going to unsearchable, because this devil's mind is unsearchable, you know. And when you say someone was a deep thinker, ultimately that's what it goes into, you know. Very, very mysterious, and the amounts and methods of this man is very deep. You know, I'm gonna get this in another version, NLT. It says, as they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised a perfect plan. Yes, the human heart, which means the Edomite heart, and mine are cunning, you know. So he has a lot of things up his sleeve. When someone says, oh, he got a lot of tricks up his sleeve, you know, like pretty much the scriptures say, I'm gonna get it real fast. This is Thaholim, Psalms 144 and verse 11. All right, because this essentially can be ascribed to Esau. It says, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh the vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. Because they got a lot of tricks up their goddamn sleeve. They rely on that deception, that witchcraft, you know. But back to Thaholim, Psalm 64 and verse 7, it says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly shall they be wounded. All right, I'm going to get a quick precept. This is Ayawab, Job, chapter 20, and we get verse 21. And it says, there shall no meat, verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. You see, so that's when it's suddenly, right here. Verse 7, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded in the fullness of his sufficiency. So just as he's about to, you know, get his NWO off the ground, you know, the Lord is going to destroy him. All right, he can get super close, you know, because we can see that this man's he's rolling in his NWO. You know, the masses don't see it. You see those with the eye salve can see it, you know, but the masses don't see it. You know, so it's going to get to a certain point to where he going to feel as if he's just about to get full. and then the Lord is going to destroy him. So it says, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right, and that's essentially where, these different so-called Edomite truthers are coming out, and telling the different details and, stuff, the plans that they have in these different societies. All right, and those that are seeing these plans, they don't want anything to do with Esau, you see. So, for example, like with the with their health system, so to speak, or shalom, which pretty much goes into, the easing of the body, But pretty much with that, where they're supposed to be physicians, but they have doctors, which the word doctor goes into falsify, you see. So a lot of people don't want anything to do with the doctoring system of Esau. They more so are looking for holistic practices, because essentially it's already been told, by these different people that used to work in those different types of industries, that, hey, they don't have your best interest at heart. They more so want to make money off of you. So that's one example. Then also with the whole drink campaign, pretty much people ain't want to have anything to do with that, and then Jake, to even 2/3, 2/3 was saying, okay, well, they ain't want to take the drink, you see. They ain't want to take the juice. They ain't want to take that, So, and that's because, first and foremost, this truth, because those different so-called truthers got it from the truth, all right, from the prophets bringing out the word, you see. But those that are seeing this man's plans, they don't want anything to do with him. That's why he's going to have to come down with that great wrath, you see, because he's going to have to essentially move on pretty much the people, because ain't nobody going to want nothing to do with this man. I mean, you're going to have some that essentially go with his plan, you see, but a lot of people not going to want to have anything to do with Esau, Edom. So it says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Because the scriptures say the Lord is known by his judgment, you see. So people are going to start to see that, all right, the Lord is moving in the earth, you see. And a lot of believers are going to come in at that time as well, But then, the Lord is going to make his work known in the earth. Like the scripture saying, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, I'm going to get it real fast. This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 14. It says, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea, and the sea is the people, you see. So, it's twofold, because waters actually do cover the sea, but then the sea is also the people. So the waters, that represents the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, But, going back to verse 9, it says, and all men shall fear and declare the work of the Most High, you see, because the Lord is going to be known by his judgment, which he executed, roughly paraphrasing, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. All right, because again, like the Lord had his name or a title back in the ancient world, Allah Shadya, all right, which means demon-like power. Shad is a demon, all right. Allah, that goes into a power, a demon-like power, pretty much with the devastation that the Lord is going to bring, which the scriptures say that the Lord is terrible to the children of men, talking about the other nations, you see, and the other nations are going to see that the Lord is moving in the earth, which they already seen that. It was like, what, 50,000 had dropped, in Turkey, Asia Minor. But nevertheless, it says, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. And the elect is going to glory, you see, because the scriptures say that in Psalms, that, it's time for the Lord to work, because they have made void thy law. So essentially, the elect is seeing the Lord moving throughout the earth, you see. So just want to go into that, Adawam Tazaza Banaya Palos, where there's a beautiful edification through the spirit. Wa Adawam Tazah Atam Yashewam Tawab, which means Lord's will, you all have a good day. Ayawam Tawab Latam, which is good day unto you all. Shalom, shalom.